Welcome back. We are speaking with Bill Priest, Executive Chairman and Co-CIO at Epoch, and Kevin Hebner, Global Investment Strategist at TD Epoch. Gentlemen, again, third part of our discussion on AI is the new macro implications for the labor market. Bill, I want to come back to you. You've been talking a bit about, the companies that are going to do well in this environment, being capital light, or AI, I should say. The AI era is capital light, and it's more not physical capital, but others. Maybe you could just kind of tell us how you think is going to shape the markets in the next little while. And I know you've got a few names just to demonstrate how they may be thinking about AI.
Well, it isn't that companies are necessarily capital light to begin with. And I'll give you an example. I mean, John Deere is probably the largest farm equipment company in the world. And we think of them as having spreaders and combines and big tractors and whatnot. But actually, they have been a leader in adding data scientists and technicians to their company. The way to think of John Deere today is a software company. Essentially what they do, they have software as a service, but it comes through the iron, so to speak, the physical manifestation of that, the spreader, the tractor, or whatnot. But the fact that they can go down a row of corn or a row of things and basically be able to spew out something to fertilize or something to kill weeds, it's amazing. And their goal is actually to be able to produce farming with virtually nobody running the farm. It's a very ambitious goal. We have one client who owns a great deal of land out in both Iowa and South Dakota, and he's tripled his acreage, and he hasn't done anything with his employees. It's all been the ability to use, in this case, largely John Deere's equipment, and the technology that is now built into the applications that Deere offers. Another example would be Microsoft. Now, they're off, that seems quite obvious, but basically, AI for Microsoft could easily provide an acceleration in their growth rate, perhaps as much as 10 to 30% through Azure and what's called copilots. The Microsoft 365 Copilot is a $30 per user per month add-on to Office. In Word, it creates a first draft. In PowerPoint, it can start a presentation based on your other documents. In Excel, it creates charts and analyzes data for you. It's the Copilot concept of man and machine working together at the office. Microsoft applications are the obvious place to put AI copilots. That would be a second company. And another one in the healthcare field, which Kevin was discussing, would be United Health. AI has lots of applications in these administrative and somewhat tedious businesses like health insurance. And United Health Group it's a very well-known managed care company. Coding, for example, is basically classifying and measuring patient illnesses. It's critical to how healthcare is priced and financed. And you may have seen headlines about RADV audits, which are government audits of coding practices at managed care companies that could impact billions of dollars in profit. And improving coding accuracy is an excellent AI application. In the near term, United Health is looking to use generative AI to help more efficiently write medical appeal letters, improve payment integrity models, detect fraud and abuse, and really answer basic questions in their call centers. Longer term, AI can create significant general and administrative savings at United Health. They have, for example, 260,000 employees that are not clinicians. These are people that do much more administrative tasks than anything else. And if you think about the typical salary for medical administration and the number of employees, the savings potential here is several $billion a year. So it really is, most companies are spending an enormous amount of time finding applications for AI, and it will do one of two things. It's either going to improve margins for them, or it's going to improve asset turnover. In other words, they'll be able to generate the same level of revenues with lower costs in labor and physical costs as well.
It's funny, you're going through these examples, and Bill, each one of them is jaw-dropping in what it can do. So it's, it's incredible. And just to think about the mass adoption and what it could mean. I've only got about a minute, but I wanted to ask you, when you think about geographies, country-level allocation, what does the AI thesis tell you there you might want to tilt more towards?
Well, I think the developed countries, for the most part, will see the initial benefits of this. So it's going to be the West, perhaps in China as well, but you're going to see a lot of that coming in the West, I think, initially. You're going to see companies that are already involved in using technology that get the idea that there are two big questions in running a company today when it comes to allocating capital. One is, what criteria do you use to allocate capital? But the second one is going to be, how do I run my business in an age that is evolving very, very rapidly? How do I manage my business in a digital age? Do I have a business strategy? And can I use AI to enhance my business strategy? I don't think there's a company in the world that isn't thinking of it in those terms.
Yeah, I think it's funny. I've heard examples of, even small people where they're writing RFPs. They can generate, 5-6 times the number of RFPs, and their businesses are doubling because of that. So it's truly incredible. I hate to say this, we had our time, but Bill, we'll bring you up on camera, and Kevin, what a great discussion. Thank you. I look forward to the next versions of these papers. I should say the next. You've got 3 more I know coming in this publication. So we want to have you on and talk about all of them. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Kim.
That is Bill Priest and Kevin Hebner joining us. All right, that is our show for tonight. Any comments or questions, or if you'd like to get in touch with an advisor, please email us at moneytalk@td.com. And please make sure to check out the new show, Money Talk Live. It airs weekdays at noon on TD's web broker platform, hosted by Greg Bunnell. You get more time with our favorite guests, and there's a list of some of those favorite guests. Great topics. Again, you get to send in your questions, and Greg will ask those questions of those guests for you. Thanks so much for watching. I'm Kim Parley, and we do hope to see you again next week.
The preceding paid commercial program was brought to you by TD Well.